So, Miles, you said with plenty of confidence that you're good at asking questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, unprepared, on the spot, hit me with something,
Something, anything.
anything. Ask.
Okay. Um, what time do you wake up today? It's wondering.
I got up today. What time was it? 6:30.
6:30 Friday. Is that pretty consistent throughout your week? Is that your routine or?
Yeah, it's pretty normal actually. Yeah, I think my biological clock is not. I didn't do the reason why I'm struggling with answering this. I didn't do my normal morning routine.
Today?
So I woke up at the same time, but I didn't do my morning routine. So that's what's off.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so the time is the
Why?
same, but I didn't do my.
Why? How come? Because you're pretty regime with this routine. Are
Yes.
you? How come today is skipped?
Last 2 weeks actually. Last 2 weeks before we went on our trip to the Netherlands, and then I got back, and I was like, okay, this is my little break. I've already overachieved on my discipline, and I've agreed with myself that on Monday I pick up where I left off before I went on holiday.
Mm.
So I told you my goal, right? The 15,000 pull-ups per year. I'm at
Mm.
14,500. Yeah, by the end of the month, I will have achieved my goal for the year. And then I still have September, October, November, December, and I might actually achieve my 10-year goal in my first year. And what I've learned from that is that I still need to work and learn about exponential benefits of consistency. When I set my 10-year goal, I thought, okay, I start with 15,000, and over the next 10 years, I'll creep up from the 15,000 to the 20,000. Starting with, if I do on average, I think 350 a week or 300 a week, then I should get to my goal. And just that exponential growth from doing 50 a day to doing 100 a day and only doing it for 5 days in the week, where before I did 7 days a week of pull-ups. But I just do five. I get a minimum of 500 a week. But now I look at the next 4 months, go like, oh, if I do five a week, I'll achieve my goal. So learning to look at that compound effect that creates that exponential growth, as it does with finance, but as it also does with learning and developing and building up strength, and for the body to get used to certain movement or stress, that's like, okay, now I'm used to this, right?
So, would you say that's the biggest lesson you've learned whilst doing these pull-ups, doing this challenge? Or are there other lessons you've uncovered whilst you've been on the journey? Because it's a big task that not many people do. That is Edson. So, first of all, well done for that. Because I don't think anyone I know my age or any age is doing this many pull-ups or has a goal for this long, has a vision for years, decade. So well done for that. But yeah, are there any other lessons in there that you've learned along the way?
So consistency, I knew that. But what I've learned along the way, as I was just sharing with you, is that I can also take I can also take a break,
Mm.
and that's okay. However, I do know that and this I knew before I started, you need to get over a certain threshold that will then enable you or allow you to take a break for a week or maybe even 2 weeks, and your body will just pick straight up where you left. However, if you've just started, you've been doing it for 3, 4 weeks, or maybe even 2 months, and then you decide to not do it for 2 weeks, then it might be very difficult to get back
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
But once you've passed that 6 months threshold, your body's used to it. You've mentally gone through dealing with the different circumstances, the different discipline challenges of, oh, I woke up this morning and I didn't feel like, or whatever, that might be your challenge. But in a period of 6 months, you've dealt with enough of that that you become confident, right? Where you trust yourself. You trust yourself to deal with all these things. So that when you start again, that you know, okay, I know this process. I know how to do this,
yeah.
right?
I think that's a really good point for people who haven't gone through that discipline journey yet, or haven't dedicated themselves to like the gym or and sport activity, reading, anything, because you don't always know that there is something on the horizon, if you know what I mean. You don't always know that after 6 months things will get easier because it just feels so hard when you start out. It feels so, so difficult. And you're not always certain of the future, when you're first ever starting. I'm thinking of, I've done sport my whole life, just different types of sport, but the one that I've first had to dedicate myself to be fair, was football when I was 13, 14. I still had to get up and, go to the games on a cold Sunday morning and training when it's freezing on Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening after school. And I'd hate it. I'd hate it so much. I used to think, I remember on the Sundays, we'd have a match and it would be like 10 a.m. kickoff. And I used to sit there and it used to be freezing. I used to think, oh, I hope they just cancel it because the grass too hard. I used to think just hope. And then when the odd occasion when it did, I was so happy. I would go home, I would enjoy myself. But then after like probably not 6 months specifically, I can't remember the time frame back then, but after a certain amount of time, I got comfortable in understanding that, things get easier and oh wait, one day you just literally can just do everything you was once doing and you would have to struggle towards, you just do it with ease like that. And then that's that switch that flips in your mind and you understand that there's a process going on, and your hard work and effort will be rewarded in the long run, but not immediately and not in a month or 2 months. It's gonna take time. But for someone who's never done a sport or never done anything, I think that insight that you just said is very important because they haven't gone through that journey yet and they don't know what is waiting for them. And you don't see much improvement in the first month or 2 months, 3 months. Even if you start from scratch, even 6 months, like it's going to be difficult still. But that story you shares, it gives hope to people and an understanding of the improvement journey that things will get better and you will get better and your hard work is being rewarded. Just because you can't see it now doesn't mean that it's not at all. I think that's a really good point.